this game. I beat Batman Arkham Asylum on hard mode from start to finish without taking any damage. The rules were that if I took a hit, I would have to go back to the very beginning of the game, not from the last checkpoint or anything. If I got hit, I had to go back to the very beginning. I've done this for Arkham City, and I attempted it on the other games as well, but for some reason, Arkham Asylum was easily the hardest one for me. As you can see, it took me 64 total attempts to beat it. I could just show a montage of the beginning to the end, but here's a compilation of some of the craziest losses throughout the challenge. Yeah, man. Due to Arkham Asylum having more archaic gameplay, since it is the first game, on top of a little more jankiness to the mechanics, it proved to be way more of a challenge than I thought. But over the course of the runs, I've developed strategies for damn near every room, and eventually I was able to beat it. So let's just start. I'm going to explain how I was able to beat Batman Arkham Asylum without taking any damage. Please subscribe and follow me on Twitter, and join my Discord. Let's begin. So the beginning of the game, the intensive treatment, is really easy. All you gotta do is take out a few guys in the beginning and go through some hallways with minor enemy presence. Fight a tutorial boss fight here that's also really easy to not get hit on, and then you move on. The only challenging part, quote unquote, of this intensive treatment area is this area of thugs above the elevator due to the number, but it's also really easy too. But this is a good example of how I went about the combat in this game. So I would punch, I evade a lot, and I never counter, because sometimes in this game, the enemies just run up to you as if they'll hit you, but then they won't attack you, and you just try to counter, but then you just sit there like a sitting duck waiting for, to get hit. So I avoid counters and just try to punch and evade. I always start fights with a run and strike attack if I can, because it auto puts you into a free flow, and then once I got the battering upgrades is where things really just change completely for the better. But yeah, man, intensive treatment ends with a small predator section, which is really easy. The thing about Arkham Asylum is that doing battering takedowns on enemies in this game are actually silent. Enemies won't hear you unless they're like really close, so I use the battering strat a lot in predator sections, just throwing one on an enemy and then knocking them out with the ground takedown. And as you can see, I do it in this room, and I move on out of the room, and that's done and done for the intensive treatment. The first part of the game is really easy, always is. Now we're in the free roam section, and over the course of the game, I scan riddles and collect some trophies and audio tapes and stuff because it gives you XP, which I need to get for upgrades. I want to make this run easier, so getting these things makes the run easier. After taking out the guys trashing the Batmobile, I upgrade to a combo battering, which makes combat sections so much easier, as you'll see in a second here. But yeah, I make my way to the medical center. I always take out these thugs in the front. You don't have to fight these guys. You can actually skip them, but they give me a lot of XP that I want before getting to the Bane boss fight in the medical center. So yeah, I beat them, I move into the medical center, into the Predator section, and this room's really easy. As soon as you enter, just mark this wall with gel, then go over here and mark this ceiling with gel, then grapple up and battering this guy in the catwalk, take him out, and then blow up the two walls, taking out two guys. And then you grapple up here and battering this dude here, and you grapple above the last guy and take him out with the battering. Really solid strat. And then after that, I collect some riddles in the room and progress the game, saving the 3 doctors in the story. There's not much to say here, it's all pretty easy. I found out in this room that after saving Dr. Young, you don't actually need to talk to her, which saves a lot of time. The only challenging part here, I guess, is the room with the thugs that actually fight you, but with the battering strat, and with me now having the double battering combo upgrade at this point, it's really easy. And once I get the triple battering combo upgrade, as you'll see, you can knock down 3 guys at once in combat sections, making it far easier, which I always prioritize getting. Anyways, after saving the doctors, you go back to the main room, and then there's 3 more armed guys for another predator section, but you can actually skip them and just go straight into the elevator, which I think is funny. Next up though is the Scarecrow boss fight, the first Scarecrow boss fight, and for me, this is really easy. I mean, all you gotta do is not get hit by Scarecrow's light. I've gotten hit by this before in like the future Scarecrow boss fights, but I've gotten a lot better about it. But yeah, man, there's not much to say here. I mean, you just don't get caught by his light, and it's honestly pretty easy, especially this first boss fight. It's really simple. Next up though is a Predator section before Bane. This one's easy. I just take this guy out here in the front, and then I go around these vents, and then move on and take this guy out, and then I wait and take the next guy out over here once he's kind of below the room. But after that, it's the Bane boss fight, the Bane train. Now, Bane is really easy, but it's also easy to just get hit by him. So Bane is basically just a regular Titan. The real challenge here is the thugs that spawn, and the same can be said for a lot of the boss fights. They make things completely different, like way more difficult, because now you have to be cautious of them while Bane throws rocks and charges at you. My strategy here against Bane was to just focus on the thugs until I took them out, because trying to punch Bane with them around is hard. You can easily just get hit randomly, so what I would do is that after Bane's second phase, every enemy spawns after taking out Bane's second health bar. So I would take out Bane's second health bar, and then just leave Bane on the second health bar and not progress to the third phase, so that way he's always stunned for longer periods of time with my battering, and that gives me time to just take out everyone in the room. And after I take out everyone in the room, it's just a win, because Bane is just a titan in a huge room. It's very simple to just take him out, and it's done and done for Bane. I have died to Bane a few times, but I've been very consistent versus him, especially with the triple battering, so yeah, man, it's an easy fight. Moving on though, next we have to fight a few groups of enemies, making our way to the Batcave. We get the Batclaw, which is nice to use during combat at times, and then you go through the sewers, no big deal, nothing to really say here, but then you get back to the surface and fight snipers. So for the first two snipers here, I always grapple up here as soon as I get to the surface, and wait until this sniper changes positions, then I take him out. I wait until he changes positions so that way, like, if I try to sneak up on him, he doesn't randomly turn around on me. After that, I wait for the guy across to look this way before gliding over and taking him out as well. I skip the 4 guys on the ground here and move on because I don't need to fight them. Moving on though, there's more snipers. I grapple up here to take this guy out, and then I go to the other side to take the next guy out. And then I wait until this sniper on the 2-man side here moves to this position. It gives me time to go around and grapple up and then double battering them and ground take them down, giving me access to the next dungeon, the mansion. Now starting off the mansion, there's 3 guys here. I have a triple batterings at this point, which is really nice for situations like this where I can just take them all out at once. It's really easy. The next room though has a ton of enemies. Perfect example again of how good triple batterings is in this game. You just punch, battering, evade, build a takedown, repeat. So I always do that for all these combat sections, and it makes them pretty easy. I move on to this Predator section in the game to save Aaron Cash. I also have a strategy here, no surprise. I always take this guy out first on the left as soon as I enter, and then I go over here and battering this guy and take him out. Then I do the same to this guy here, and then I wait for these 3 guys to go to spec the first guy, and then I would grapple over there and triple battering them to knock them all out at once. Easy. Next up is the Dr. Young section. There's really not much to say here other than being able to get a good look at Ra's al Ghul's feet, so that's a plus. But then you move on to the library. You take these guys out and progress the story. Cool. And then the second Scarecrow section boss fight happens, and this part used to screw with me because of the skeletons you have to fight. Something about the camera angle makes it a little scary, but I started using the explosive gel strat. Basically, you plant it on the ground right before they like kind of spawn in, and it actually knocks most of them out, if not all of them, making it really easy to just pick off the rest of the, skeletons. But after that though, it's just a matter of knowing when to move with the Scarecrow sections and playing it safe, which I would do. And after that, you beat Scarecrow. I mean, with Scarecrow boss fights, all you gotta do is just be really careful and you shouldn't die. That's the best way I can put it. After Scarecrow though, the mansion's basically over. You got a little bit of story and a few enemies left to fight, but there's nothing too bad, and we finish up the mansion. Awesome. Moving on though, I moved on to the penitentiary for the story, the next part. I'm careful to take this one sniper out along the way, and there's some guys outside the building, but I take them out, no big deal. Going inside, there's 3 schmucks here, which I just triple battering. Easy. Moving on through the story though, we get the cryptographic sequencer. I make sure to upgrade getting the easy upgrade thing for this thing so I don't struggle on the control boxes. After that though, this is where lunatics spawn in. Now lunatics used to be very annoying. I've lost runs where I just didn't counter at times, or it just didn't work or whatever, and they lunge at me and do damage and I lose. Then I realized I should always use the Batclaw for these guys, because the Batclaw guarantee knocks them down for a ground takedown. So yeah, keep that in mind. We'll touch more on that later, but moving on, we have this little combat section up here with Harley Quinn swinging around. It's pretty simple, it's just another combat section. I just made sure that they didn't get guns from the gun racks. That would have been a problem, but yeah, this is easy. Moving on after though, the next section is the combat room with the 3 electrified floors. This room's also really easy. I've never died here. The game gives you so much time to move on from one floor to the next, so it's basically just another combat section. I also enjoyed throwing people to their death, and yeah, I got through it fairly easy. After that though, I made my way out of here and towards Botanical Gardens. This part is actually scary just because of lunatics on the way. There are some lunatics on your way out of the penitentiary. They were easy to take out, just like one at a time kind of thing. The real challenge is like outside, because now there's multiple ones that could chase you outside. So once I did get outside, there's a couple that are easy to take care of along the way, but once I got to the west side of the island, there's a lunatic at the end of the hallway, and there's like close ones nearby as well. I always take out this first one ASAP, And then as soon as I do that, I grapple up to the sniper tower here immediately because at this point, there's multiple lunatics that could be chasing me, which I don't want to deal with since my backlog can only work so often and only on one guy. I grapple up here and just hang on the ledge because it makes me safe. They can't attack you when you're hanging from a ledge. And once it's safe to do so, I climb up and grapple up to the top of this tower, and then I glide down above to this little building, and then I grapple up to the next tower here. And then from here, I glide down to the exit once the lunatics are kind of out of the way. If there's one in the vicinity, I would just kind of take him out and then go through the door. Otherwise, I would just wait here at the top of the tower. After that, there's one more lunatic in here, easy backlaw takedown, and then I grapple up to the sniper tower, and then I glide down to the door to the botanical gardens, and boom, safely navigated to the next area. Now, botanical gardens is pretty scary for one particular section, so at the beginning here, after taking these two guys out, there's this predator room. And I think for me, I don't know why, this is the hardest predator section room in the game, at least, yeah, for me, like I said. It's likely due to the various floors and lack of escape options and flanks. I struggled here a lot, but after some trial and error, I found a strategy that worked consistently for me. So in the very beginning, I quickly ran up to this guy on the stairs and took him out, and then I would grapple up here to the top floor and silent take down this next guy. And after doing that, I would backclaw this guy across off the floor, and then I was sonic shock battering this guy right over here. And then I would just kind of crouch walk over here to backlaw this next guy, and there's only one guy left. I would just wait to battering him or whatever, and that strategy worked consistently for me. And I actually upgraded sonic shock just before this section. Like, I got enough XP just to do it, which is why I collect those Riddler trophies so I can get to upgrades like this when I need them. So yes, I do that, and then I go to quickly take out this next combat section here and proceed through the building until I get to the unique stealth section here where you have to get to the guy across the room. It's really easy to do. I mean, after doing it so many times, it's simply just, you know, do what the game intends you to do. Once you take him out, you gotta take out the rest of the room. I just sonic shock this guy closest to me, and then I triple battering the guy that comes up the ladder to check on him, which knocks him down the ladder and instant takes him out. And then this guy here usually just kind of goes over here where I can backclaw him to his death, which is hilarious. Next up though is the 2 Titan boss fight. Now, this boss fight was a struggle at first, early on in these runs, but then it became very easy for me. I've had bad luck with these guys though. I've gone trick shotted before, like it was insane and made me super upset. Anyway, the fight is fairly easy. You just battering and dodge. The main concern is making sure you're not cornering yourself after a roll in which the second Titan can just kind of kill you. The trick is that after one Titan charge, I would just run a bit to wherever I needed to be before I needed to battering dodge the second one, because you kind of have some time to do that. So I would do that to create room for myself, and having those two things in mind and me playing it safe made it fairly easy for me to get past this room after I kind of understood how to fight them. I placed gel when it was safe to do so because the gel does do damage and stuns Titans as well, making my life easier, and I avoided punching them when I was near them because I did not want to accidentally get hit. And yeah, man, done and done. It wasn't too bad here. So the next part of the game, you're supposed to go talk to Ivy and then fight a bunch of enemies, but if you just don't do that and enter the series here, you can actually just reload the game, and in doing that, you can just skip that section completely, which I would do, which is pretty funny and pretty awesome to save time. The next part is the Predator room here though, which I sold on a few times, but this one's easier now, thankfully. As soon as I enter the room, I silently take down the guy right in front of me. I run over to the ladder here and actually place explosive gel in case I need it, but then I go over to where I took out the first guy and backclaw this guy down here off the stairs, which often knocks him over to the railing, taking him out. And then I sonic shock one of the 3 guys down here, and then after that, I would just kind of play it safe, wait for a moment to strike, and boom, I would do that, and boom, Botanical Gardens is done. For now. Next up, the game wants you to go to Aaron Cash, and if I do that, snipers actually spawn in the overworld when I have to go progress through the story, but you can actually just skip talking to Aaron Cash, which I would always do, and go straight to the intensive treatment where you're supposed to go anyway. And doing that, I avoided the snipers, which is awesome. Next up is the intensive treatment area though. The first part is this Predator section here where the gargoyles are armed with bombs, so I couldn't use them. The first thing I would do is drop down and silent take down this guy in front of me. Then I come down to the bottom floor here, battering take down this guy, and after that I climb up this ladder and up these stairs and take this guy down. Then usually 3 of the guys are grouped up with one on the other side of the room. I sonic shock one of them, and then I come over here to the static guy in the center, throw a battering at him to take him out, and then I'll just kind of grapple up to the top here and just kind of backclaw or battering take down the last 2 guys here, which clears the room for me easy. I usually try to avoid gargoyles generally anyway in Predator sections. I don't trust them in this game, but yeah, that was unique for this room. Next up is the Scarecrow final boss fight section, and this one isn't too bad. Kind of the same premise as the second fight, explosive gel strat on the enemies here to take most of them out, and just knowing when to go and avoid Scarecrow's gaze is key here. After all that though, there's a whole combat section with skeletons at the end here. The first phase is just, pretty simple, just take down a bunch of them. The second phase is just one giant skeleton, which is really easy, just battering, dodge him. The third one combines all the little skeletons with one titan skeleton though. What I did in the beginning was to make sure to get a 2-hit combo to have a free flow going, and then I just kept evading over an enemy until the titan charges at me. And then take him out when he's, charging, and it would instant take him out because he's a skeleton guy. And after that, I would just carefully take out the regular skeleton guys, and voila. Scarecrow's done for. His boss fights were unique in that, he can just kill you by just looking at you. So I had to play differently to survive here, so that was a challenge, I guess. But, I was always on edge during them. But I have been good about beating them, so there's that. So yeah, done with Scarecrow. Next up is a few little combat sections, no big deal. And then we have the Killer Croc boss fight. Now, I've never died a Croc. I equate Killer Croc here to Mr. Freeze from Arkham City in that once you know how the fight goes, it's pretty hard to get hit or just die since it's so slow paced, You really just have to crouch, battering Croc, and move on. It's really not that hard, at least for me. I've had some close calls with him before, and he actually just spawns randomly in where I would actually touch him with Batman, but the game gave me time to just kind of back up and battering him anyway, so the section gives you a lot of leeway to not die. So yeah, there's not much to say here. I was able to beat Croc really easily just doing all that. But there have been some funny close calls though. Closer than I would have liked. What the? Next up, it's on our way to the Sewer Titan section, which, man, this is where the actual challenge of the run begins. So on our way there, there's not much to say. We fight a group of guys here and then get the triple backlaw. We have to navigate past the ivy plant spores now, which is actually something important to talk about. So my strategy for the ivy plant spores was simply just wait until the spores spawned their projectiles, and then I'll triple battering all of them and then destroy the spores. I did that for all of them, except for this one here. I line launched over it because I can. And then we get to the sewer section. So first off, there's 2 rooms you need to go to deactivate the pumps. One of them is this Predator section. Now normally this would be hard, but in the beginning of the room, if you just go to the vent like I do here and open it with the back claw, you can just kind of camp here for the entire section duration of the Predator room and never get shot. I opened it first, then Sonic shocked this guy closest to me. This makes everyone in the room go over there, except for these 2 guys here covering the pump activator, which gave me the opportunity to pull the floor from underneath them, taking them down, and I can go back safely into the vent. And after that, it's just a matter of patience, waiting for the perfect time to strike, and I mainly use the back claw to just pull them over railings. I feel like that's the easiest and safest way to take these guys out, which I did a lot, and that's a done and done Predator section. Not too bad overall. The next pump room is actually easy because I actually never fight here. If you get the upgrade for the cryptographic sequencer to have that long range thing, you can actually skip this room if you have that upgrade. As you can see, I kind of just scanned it from up here and matched through the Batman dialogue, and then scan a second one in here and leave without ever touching the round, saving me time and a potential death. At this point in the game, the last challenges are the 4, count them 4, final back-to-back-to-back boss fights. This upcoming Sewer Titan, Poison Ivy, the 2 Titans before Joker, and then Joker. For this Sewer Titan fight, the actual boss fight is the room itself since it's so small, as you'll see. But to prep for this room, I placed gel around the room, which auto-detonates because I got the auto-detonation upgrade, and then go over here to start the fight. The Titan opens the door, charges at me, I do the battering thing and stun him. I hit him 5 times and then evade out of the way. At this point, the group of enemies that enter the room are all blown away by the explosive gel I placed at their feet right over there. This gives me time to ground take down 1, maybe 2, and then focus on the Titan while they're all on the ground. The hard part here is that the small room, coupled with all the enemies, gives you so much less leeway to make mistakes. I primarily did a ton of evades, and I never countered because 1, counters in this game sometimes aren't consistent like I've said, and 2, the Titan can hit me during a counter animation, which has happened before. Same goes for special combo takedowns as well. I had to pick my spots very carefully. I only did special combo takedowns if I knew for a fact I was out of range for his attacks. Sometimes when I know the Titan's about to hit me, I would just spam and evade over an enemy to just wait for him to charge and then throw a battering at him. if I dropped a combo, I would always try to have Batman do a run and strike attack on an enemy because it just puts you in a free flow, like I said. And just kind of using those strategies and playing it slow, and after a lot of trial and error, I managed to beat this Titan sewer fight. Sometimes I've made really stupid mistakes. I've heard other strats like Vigil, for example, another YouTuber that's trying to do this challenge. Awesome guy, you should watch his stuff. I heard he was using like a triple backlaw strat to pull the enemies into the electrical fences, which instant takes them down, which I think is viable, but I was comfortable with my strategy here though, which worked for me. So yeah, I was able to beat it. After that though, it's on our way to Poison Ivy, and Ivy, I think for me, was the biggest hurdle in this challenge. She was such a pain in the ass, god man, but before we get to her, we have to actually get to her. So first off, once we get back to the island after the sewer Titan fight, there's lunatics, spores, and a sniper right here. I always glide over to the sniper, take him down, and then I line launch it over to the medical center because it's clear of enemies. I grapple to the rooftop, and then I just glide over to this door to progress the game. This has me avoid everything on this part of the island, which is nice. Next, there's spores in this connecting door path. I just do the triple battering strat and destroy them. There's one here where you have to grapple over. I triple battering the Joker teeth near the spore just in case my batterings want to lock onto them, and I just wait for the spores to spawn and destroy those, and then I glide over to the door and just slowly exit. Entering this island here, there's two snipers on my left and a spore in front of me. I take out the spore first, and then this sniper nearest to me, when he's positioned on the side close to me, I sonic shock the ceiling above him to take him out. And then I kind of walk over here, remote battering the next sniper, and I aim for the head because I think if you aim for the head, it puts him on the ground longer. I think, I don't know. But then after doing that, I quickly grapple over to the sniper tower, line launcher over to him and ground take him down, and glide over and enter the botanical gardens. And at this point, there's a few more spores. The first room, I take out the two in here. The next room, I take out this one in front of me, and then I just grapple up and go over to the door, take out the spore spawns here, and then just enter through the door. And in this room, I line launch it over to the right side to give myself space on this plant spore, and triple battering and take it out. And then you progress, take out these two guys, and then it's time for Poison Ivy. Now, Ivy is a huge pain because it's very easy to get hit here if you don't know what you're doing, really. So Ivy has two health phases and two patterns of attacks. The first pattern is this one where she's punching the ground and her vines spawn. They can easily grab you if you make even the slightest mistake because you won't have enough time to escape if you make that mistake. The strategy that I use here is to try and stay in the center as much as I can, because Poison Ivy, she'll never slam the center first. She always slams one of the sides, so it gives you time to figure out where you need to go to be safe. If I am away from the center, I always try to throw 2, maybe 3 batterings before I stop and rush back to the center, because if I threw 1 battering too many, I might not have enough time to escape before her vines get me. It has happened to me before. After going through that a bit, she swaps to her next pattern attack, which is her throwing these orange projectiles at you. They're really easy to dodge. You just run around in a circle to avoid them. And thankfully they don't have splash damage, so as long as you keep running in a circle, you'll avoid them. So in this phase, she shoots them out slowly, and what I did was after she shot the first one, I would immediately just throw a battering, which hits Ivy when she's vulnerable, which does a lot of damage to her. And after that, I would just keep running around because after hitting her, she shoots multiple spores, so I never let my guard down, at least I tried not to. I always try to reset to this corner here after hitting her because it's just a nice place to start, I found. And then for this first phase, I just kept repeating those things for her 2 patterns of attack until I took her out, and then the second phase appears. And the second phase is the actual challenge for me. The first phase is really easy because there's no enemies. The next phase throws in random thugs attacking you in her first pattern of attack, which makes things way more difficult. So these thugs, if you get carried away, the vines will kill you. You won't have enough time to avoid them and you'll die because you're just too busy with these thugs. That's happened to me way too often. Evading here can be a detriment as well because I have evaded into an enemy's punch or a vine. It's happened, and but I still use the evade strat because I personally don't trust counters in this game. I just had to pick my spots more carefully. But yeah, man, for this phase, same strats. I try to stay in the center always, and after Ivy launches her first vine attack, I keep evading over enemies to see where she does the next one, and then act accordingly. I try to keep a combo going so I can instant take these guys down with a special combo takedown, but I gladly drop my combo if it meant like I would put myself in a dangerous position. I always try to get back to center, like I said, because I easily found myself punching a guy like in the corners, which if I got carried away, I'll die. And I try not to use too many batterings in this phase, and I try to focus solely on taking out the enemies because the next phase is where I did the most damage to her anyway. So yeah, man, my strat here was to just try to stay center, evade over enemies to see where Ivy slams her vines and act accordingly, and then get back to center when I can. If I need to get back to the center quickly, if I had a combo, I can just have Batman punch an enemy rather than evading because Batman lunges with his punches way faster than he evades, right? So that is something to take note of. But yeah, after I took out her thugs, Ivy initiates her second pattern with the orange projectiles. This phase though, she shoots them out way quicker. So for this phase, she shoots 6 of them and then just stops. And that was the opportunity I took to just battering her for massive damage. And I would just repeat that, and I just repeated those steps and I beat her eventually. It's really easy to make a mistake on Ivy. Like, I've evaded over an enemy into the vines a lot of times. It sucks, man, but eventually you do get it. I also had to use another strategy I found useful where I just left one thug alive, so that way Ivy doesn't go to her next phase, and I can just kind of spam batterings and just jump over him. It actually was useful, and I actually did that for a bit here, like I said. So yeah, you know, food for thought. But yeah, man, that's done and done for Ivy. She was a very difficult boss fight, but after trial and error, I was comfortable in beating her. Moving on though, now we have the finale of the game, the final 2 fights. So on our way to Joker, I grapple up to this tower, line launch over to the next one, and glide over to this door to progress and not fight any lunatics here. Awesome. Then there's the party thug blitz area. I take out the 4 guys at the entrance, but avoid the thugs inside because you can just do that. Sorry, Havocan, for not fighting this area for you, bro. And then you move on to the 2 Titan fight with the thugs, which is honestly one of the hardest parts of the game, and it's harder than the Joker boss fight. So this Titan fight is kind of nice because the room is at least big, giving you more room to dodge. But yeah, I just kind of took this fight like the sewer Titan fight. I evaded over enemies and waited for the Titans to charge, run around, and made sure I had room to evade. But even with all that, it's still hard because with the enemies around and 2 Titans this time, it's very easy to get hit. I've had close calls here. One of the challenges I found here, surprisingly, was actually just taking out a Titan when he had like no health left. The thugs were constantly in the way, so I had moments where I had to give up jumping on a Titan's back or taking him out because there was too many thugs around. I couldn't risk it. I sometimes just had to focus on actually thinning out the room of thugs here before going for the Titans. So I did that and I played it safe. I used what I learned from the other Titan fights and I was able to beat it. One of the struggles I found here was actually not paying attention for a second and getting hit. Like, I will be so focused on taking out one guy that I won't hear a Titan charge on me until like the last second and he hits me. It's happened. So I had to make sure to keep my head on a swivel and hear the Titan scream at all times. I had to listen for those audio cues because I've surprisingly gotten hit here when I feel like I shouldn't have. So yeah, man. Thankfully, I was able to beat it, and then we move on to the finale of the game, which is the Joker final boss fight. But Joker is supposed to be very easy, right? And I think he is. But I've died on him once because I was being very stupid. But he is easy. So first off, Titan Joker's only real attack is him lunging at you with his claws. I would wait right here and then wait until he swipes like once or twice, and then I'll just run around in a clockwise rotation. This makes it so I don't get hit. The other time I fought him, I thought he would hit me if I went in this clockwise position, so I turned around like an idiot and I got hit. You never do that. Never do that or you'll get hit. I found that out the hard way. But after that, there's just thugs to fight. The first wave of enemies are just regular guys. I just didn't get hit. I just did what I did for all the other combat sections and I was able to beat them. There are party bomb things that Joker spawns, like he just drops them, but those are really easy to dodge and I didn't have to worry about those. There's Joker teeth as well. That you kind of have to worry about, but it's really easy to just throw a battering and blow that up, so it's no big deal. And once I did that, I would just grapple Joker and take out his first health bar phase thing. Something to note is that the electrical fences around can stun Batman. It won't do damage to him, but it will stun you, so enemies can run up and just hit you. So I try to avoid those, which I did. I use them to my advantage though, like I would just throw enemies onto them with my punches and stuff, which was awesome. But yeah, I just repeated those strategies for his next 2 phases. I waited until he swiped once or twice and then ran around a clockwise rotation. I fought off the next group of thugs. Some thugs here now actually are the knife enemies. I always avoided away from them or over them. Never horizontally, because if I evade from them horizontally, they swipe their knives horizontally as well, so I can still get caught and can take damage. So I never did that. So I took them out, knocked out Joker again. This time, same thing, waited for him to swipe his claws and ran clockwise. This next phase, the enemies can now actually grab weapons like shock sticks and a gun rack, so I always made sure that they never got a gun, because if they get a gun, I might just die and lose the game. But yeah, man, I beat that, I took it slow, and then I finally beat Joker, man, after so long, and I won the challenge.
I'm done here. I will march on. This won't stop me! I can take it. I can take anything you throw at me.
That was hell easy. No, that was easy. Whatever, bro. That was easy.
Ready for the next round?
It's not processing right now. It's not processing right now.
Never let you win.
Thank you so much for your donation, Margaret. It's not processing right now. Like I cannot. It has to sink in. 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 I'm seeing donations. Thank you. It has to sink in. It has to sink in. I don't want to scream. I do not want to scream. I want to say fuck you to all the haters. Fuck all of you. Where's my notes at? Now I thought Arkham Asylum would be the easiest. Turned out to be the hardest, having the most attempts compared to my other Arkham No Damage runs. I think it's a combination of the jankiness of the combat and some unfamiliarity for me, honestly, with like how to approach some of these sections of the game. But I never gave up because I'm a persistent bastard and I managed to win. I was able to beat this just before the week of Christmas, so this was my own personal Christmas gift, which is awesome. And the crazy part was that I actually was going to take a break from this challenge and move on to Arkham Origins for Christmas. Like, this run here would have been like the last or near last if before I moved on to Arkham Origins and took a break, but I beat it. Perfect timing, man. Thank you, man. I did not want to like carry this over to the next year. But yeah, man, that leaves Arkham City and Arkham Asylum done for me. 3 more Arkham games to go, and I might just do the Spider-Man games as well. But if you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, sub, follow me on Twitter, please. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe and a peace. That's where I should go when he's looking left now for sure now, right? Yeah. Chat plays Batman Arkham Asylum for me.
There you are.
A lot of enemies here.
You're gonna bleed out your face!
Dude. Oh, what? 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 I threw battering! No! No, 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 no! I want to do a ground takedown.
You want some of this?
Match counter? What the fuck do I do?
Oh, and if you hear a shot in the dark, don't worry.
There's a sexy Latina Pokemon trainer? You're lying. Where? What timestamp? We're done. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. I don't even want to talk about that. Bye. I was kind of close. I'm gonna punch this one. I'm dead. It's on a rock, which is kind of good. This is not the day for me. This is not the day for me. This is not the day for me. It's one of those days. What's up, guys? Batman here. I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm so fucking garbage. I cannot believe I did that. I cannot believe I did that. I'm gonna scream. Why am I selling on Bane now? Do I die here? I knew it. I knew it too. I fucking knew it.
Will you really? Oh, that's rather good, isn't it?
I can take this guy out. I can take this guy out. Fight Bane. I don't even want to play anymore.
Sure it came from over there.
Oh my gosh! Swear to God that hit me! Dude, I'm mashing counter, it's not working!
You're gonna bleed, bat.
No, what? I'm literally mashing counter. Arkham Ops, Call of Duty Arkham Ops 6.
In the breakout attempt. Stay on this channel. Back to the scheduled program.
Okay. No, 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 no. Because he's a dumb bitch. That's exactly what they say. I think I could take this guy out. No. That one. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. Oh! What? 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 Dude! What? What? Wait, what? 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 How do you see? I'm dead. My idol. Alright, let's see here.
I will crush you like the insect
No,
you are.
no, fuck! Get back to a good spot in the game. Stop! I'm done. Alright, we're out of here. Alright, good game, guys. That was a good stream. Dude! I really love the slow-mo thing when Batman just doesn't hit anyone in slow-mo. That's actually... Alright, guys. I'm gonna end the stream today. Back.
Wait here. It's not safe yet.
No, 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 no.
Batman, he's here!
What am I doing? What the fuck 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 am I doing? No way, 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 no way. SpongeBob, my legs are frozen. I need you to cut them off. And SpongeBob says, I can't patch. I'm not paying attention. I regularly no damage. Which one's that one again? I forget. Am I dead? I'm done. I'm not focused. This is just ridiculous. I'm dead.
Here, it's Batman!
I'm fucking dead, bro. Oh my gosh. Name's Batman. Oh, dude! No, no. What am I doing? Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Wait, oh, I did take damage. Alright, whatever.
Batman! Time to die, Batman! He's over here!
It's whatever. This run was stupid. I sold the shit out of that. I didn't want to battering him. I wanted to grapple him off the railing. No! No way! 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 Not like that! Not like that! Oh my god! Not like that! No! 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 Bro. This is a good takedown right here. Into a bad throw. No.
I'll choke the life out of you.
What the fuck am I doing? Pause. I'm done. I'm done. What the fuck?
Feeling the pressure?